Oh yeah, last time you were like half naked, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty funny.
Why was that? Why were you naked? You had like done. Oh, it was after your first April Fool's joke with like, being naked on the
OnlyFans.
Your OnlyFans, yeah.
It's favorite holiday.
I'm going to consult you guys in the next one.
Have you ever done a podcast date?
I did his, but it was like.
Oh, his Patreon thing?
Yeah. This is like my very first like.
She's nervous.
I'm not nervous.
You're nervous.
You're being weird.
I'm nervous.
Are you nervous?
I'm nervous.
I mean, the first time Natalie and I did a podcast and like that you guys are doing, where it was kind of like almost debuting your relationship and speaking on your relationship, like I was very nervous. And then all of a sudden,
but it was like we did our friends. We were like,
we did our
only
friends
doing our friends. It has to be like safe space. We have to be able to take shit out. We have to. It's like we're not just doing anybody's.
And we still got heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think you always. Well, we've learned quickly. You always get heat for anything.
Yeah, I mean, listen. I'm sure
people want to cry over spilled milk
video, so we're good.
What's that?
We'll get into it.
Oh, yeah. No, we started.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, we started.
Yeah.
Oh, Tyler and Tate, welcome to the house. No.
Well, we kind of started, but didn't start it.
You're crazy.
Tyler and Tate, welcome.
Hello.
Sounds nice. Tyler and Tate.
Tyler and Tate, Natalie and Nick.
Natalie and
Nick.
Tyler and
TT
Tate.
and N.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
Welcome back, Tyler. It's been a long time. Last time you were naked. Now you're clothed.
Yep. I have a girlfriend now, so I think it should be more presentable.
Did you have a girlfriend then?
No. Well,
yeah, you did.
Yeah, I
For sure.
You definitely did.
That's right.
Wow.
When is your anniversary?
October 26th.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's like when you officially asked her to be your girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of like
We
don't.
had 3 anniversaries.
Yeah,
before.
honestly.
I was so grateful to get married for no other reason than I could just wash all those other anniversaries
So what
away.
are the 3?
It was like when we met in New York, and then it was like when we like kind of started becoming boyfriend and girlfriend, and it was like when she moved to LA, and it was
I was like, when we got coffee.
Were you creating these anniversaries, or was Nick?
Oh, of course it was me. I was like, gift.
Yeah.
like someone around like, I think we're celebrating, like we're closest to our anniversary.
Nick's like, I have to have a quarterly anniversary with you right now, every quarter.
And Nick was like, I feel like none of these matter, and I feel like maybe we shouldn't celebrate any of them until we like get married. And I was heartbroken.
Yeah, it's hurtful.
No, I've learned every holiday, every anniversary really matters.
Okay, listen. I made the anniversary very easy for him because he doesn't even know his brothers and parents' birthdays still to this day. He has to really think about it. So he did ask me to be his girlfriend on or I guess he made it easy on himself. The day of the gala, the one that you guys came to. That was yes, that morning he asked me to be his girlfriend.
Where's Tate?
He went lent up. Tate was talking to us, and Nick goes,
I had never seen a picture of her, so like I didn't know.
I mean, I came in hot with you too because I was like fired up to meet you, and I was like, "Hey, Nick," and I think you were like taken back. You're like, "Hi, how are you?" And I was like, "Okay, sick." And so then I kind of like just jived off, and but it was.
And then
fine.
I was standing there being like, "So where's that?" I was like, "So where's
you
this
just
Tate
met her.
person you've been talking so much about?" She's like, "I'm right here."
It's like, oh, the maniac.
I've put my foot in my mouth more than a few times.
It's okay.
So what are you gonna do?
We all do that.
Tate, it's like I feel like we've talked to this guy like so many times, but obviously a lot of people are very curious about you.
Yeah.
Yeah. How who are you? No.
I also feel like
are you?
me and you we can relate very much in this aspect of like being normal, not in the public eye at all, falling in love with someone in the public eye, kind of dating secret, navigating the like they still have appearances to make and things to do. Like I remember on Valentine's Day, Nick and I were seeing each other. We were in New York, and he like did this Good Morning America date thing and went on like dates with all these women, and I was just like in the green room like, okay.
The worst.
So it's like a weird world that I feel like not a lot of people understand. And so I feel like I'm glad we're kind of on the same page with a lot of things. And I feel like they both acted kind of similar.
Yes. Which
How did I act?
Like a bitch. I'm just kidding.
No, but seriously, like I definitely, in your defense, like it was so new we were dating. I mean, in my mind, I was just like, I don't even know what we were at that point, but we had definitely, by February, we had been hanging out for 5 months at that point.
sounds very familiar.
Yes. In my head, I'm pregnant. So.
And then like Good Morning America, like now, actually what happened was like Nally was set to like come visit. She was coming out to LA. And then like randomly Good Morning America called me up and was like, hey, we have this like idea and like we'd love to fly you out. And at that point, like, I think I had the show, but like, when GMA calls, you're like, it's kind of exciting. It's go to New York and fun. And you want to say yes to like GMA, like giving you the call. And they're like, yeah. And they basically pitched like me this, like I would, go on a date with a winner, which was like, and then like, they would win a date with me. It was really silly and cheesy. And so in my mind, I think it's stupid. And then like the date we went on was like, we all got, like the producers of the show, we all got a cup of coffee downstairs. And I talked to a fan for like a few minutes. I just acted as if like this was totally normal. And I didn't even take the time to like check in. I was like, hey, we're going to New York instead of LA. Can you meet me there instead of flying out to LA?
So he didn't preface like that it was.
I'm doing this thing for GMA. And
I'm doing this thing for GMA. It's like not. It's
that's
like
totally like identical.
It's like it's nothing. It's silly, and you're like, oh, you have to make out with all. Okay,
and
wow,
then you
that's
have to
like something
rewind.
Maybe you should have like.
You have to rewind and like break it down. Like, hey, can you see why this was maybe like? It's a bigger issue now than it could have been if you just would have like maybe just told me a little more information. Yeah,
but you were like working for Tyler?
Yes.
Okay, fucking the boss.
Yeah. I'm crazy.
It's like that Jerry Seinfeld episode.
You're too old for me. I don't know that one.
Oh my God. No, but
he has a housemaid that he starts dating, and then she's never cleaning the house, but he's still paying her.
Yeah.
He's like, what did I just pay for?
Okay, no, I will say that is not like me. I put my work in.
I just did the work.
But you were like running his social media, right?
Yes, and then it turned into running his life, and then we just were spending more and more time together because I think we both have similar. Like we like to grind and not in that way, but in like the work way. And
they're hard workers, people.
Yes, we're very hard workers. And so it was always, if he needed an extra hand or he needed someone to stay late, I was just always like game to like do it. And so I think once we started spending more time together in that way, it just kind of organically, and I was friends with him. Like I was friends with his group of friends. We hung out like as friends too for a while too. And so I will say, I think it was the healthiest relationship I've ever gone into because he's such an open book that I knew everything about him. Like, honestly, so much of an open book. Sometimes you're like, yo, can you just like reel it in just a tidbit? So going into it, it was like, I know who you are. Like, I know the person that you are. You're not going to like, look all shiny and glittery at first on like a couple dates. And then all of a sudden I find out that you're an asshole. So I definitely felt more confident going into.
At what point did it go from like, this is the guy in The Bachelor I work for who
what point, Tate?
Does what he does
Yeah,
to like all of a sudden like there being a moment?
Listen, you got a tequila brand deal and that'll do it. I'll tell you that. It was a very distinct moment in the back of a car going home from the tequila event. I think, I'll just say it. I definitely got handsy first, but he definitely was like, not you. You were like, come on. I was like, here I am. So, definitely.
So,
got, like,
what happened in the back of the car? Like a blowjob? Or
no,
like
a little over the pants HJ.
Oh, a little HJ.
Yeah,
okay.
And it was over the pants. Like there was nothing crazy about it. That's kind of crazy since he technically was my boss at that time. But
honestly, just an over the pants
OTPHJ.
hand job in general is kind of crazy.
I know.
School.
What a move.
Like, honestly.
Very old school of me.
Going old school is fun sometimes. It's exciting. And sure, yeah, that's where we went.
And then by the time we got home, things escalated quickly. And then I remember right after, I just looked at him and I was like, I need to break the ice somehow. So I just we caught eyes and I was like, HR. And then we both laughed. And then we were like, all right, let's go to bed.
Yeah, but when was the first time you guys actually addressed you guys hooking up? Because that next day there's always that awkwardness, HR joke, but there must have been a time where it was
he panicked for sure. Yes.
Yeah. Well, so mind you, let's back this up. We're in the middle of filming the TV show, and it is hell. And we're
TV show was over.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Oh, it wasn't.
We did not hook up while the TV show was being filmed.
I believe
I disagree.
I believe Tate.
Anyways.
Now this is usually right about timelines in our relationship, and I have a pretty good
because
memory.
the show went on forever. So
yes, it went on for 6 months, but
it went on for 9.
Oh, 9. But
yes,
I know for a fact that it was after.
Okay, semantics.
Anyways, go. Yeah, go ahead.
So where I started, everyone, the whole show. So part of my show was supposed to be a dating show, right? I went on 6 dates with the girls, extravagant dates, all these different wild things. We had someone I went on a gator date with this one girl who was a reptile scientist. Someone got bit by a gator on that show.
Can I pop in for a second?
Yeah.
The producer actually, in the beginning when we filmed, wanted him to go on a date with me, and he said no.
Because she was working for me then.
Rude.
At the time. So I was trying to create some type of professionalism inside of my career, And
then the
guys, I'm trying to be an adult.
The OTPHJ just really took
my
over.
first day of employment, you were hungover and you asked if we could skip work and we could stay in bed and cuddle all day. So
that's
first day of work.
I don't think that
first
ever
day
happened.
of work.
Yes, remember when we
He
cleaned
said
the
he
room?
was trying to be
Trying.
more professional.
He didn't say
That was
bang
me
all day.
trying.
It
That was
just
me
cuddling.
trying to be funny. Okay. I don't think that ever happened.
So you're filming the show. You're going.
Yeah,
on all
we're going.
these
We're going
dates.
through hell, and I will say this about Tate. She went through the hell with me. A lot of my people that worked with me on that show up and did a lot of the bare minimum, or show up, do their 9 to 5, and did a lot of work. But still, once 5 was out and done, or they were out. Tate, though, if it was 4 a.m., she was there at 4 a.m. A lot of people worked. It was hard, but I just noticed that Tate was grinding and working her ass off, and she was right there with me. And then we just were spending a lot of time together. And then there's this one day I always say that she wore a crop top shirt in.
He talks about this.
Yeah, wore a crop top shirt in and these short jeans and everything. And I looked at her and I was like, oh, this is going to be a problem.
You got to cover it up.
and then I was like, we got to stay away from this. And so that kind of maybe even push her away more. But then work, we were always on top of each other with all the things that we had to do. So I think I just grew such an admiration for her, her work ethic. And I don't think she's not trying to be my assistant. I think she saw that this was an opportunity to build something bigger. And I admired that about her. And she loved designing houses. She loved being in the heat of all this stuff and part of the builds and all this stuff. And she was right there hanging stuff on the walls on the when we're up at 4 a.m. getting ready for the reveal the next morning, and then being there first thing. She was always just down and into it. So I think that was part of it too, is I feel like I had a teammate finally, where I'm always the one with the work on my shoulders and I'm the one that has to get it done and find a way. Whereas finally damn, I got someone that has my back for the first time ever.
Hey, that was nice. Thanks.
That was so sweet.
And then I got
then you got an OTPHA and everything.
It was really
changed.
just a cherry on top.
but then no. So then after the night we hooked up, I go to her. I go, we cannot do this again. And we cannot talk about it because we were still filming, because we filmed the reveal 2 weeks later, and Katie goes, why are you being weird? Why didn't you tell me this? And we had the reveal after that. So I was right. Anyways, so we did this, and I was like, we can't tell anyone about it. We gotta keep this to ourselves. It can't happen again. We gotta be pros, And
you got to be pros.
Well, when he said that to you, did you agree with him? Did you feel defensive because it was what he it was a bad thing?
No, I didn't think it was a bad thing. I was shocked at how panicked he looked, because we were friends. So I was making light of it like a joke, kind of like the HR thing, but I kept the joke going. I definitely, again, was friends with him, and I did not want to date him, knowing what a maniac he was at the time. It was not on my radar.
Yeah.
So,
what was your impression, or your opinion of Tyler at this point when you started working for him?
I mean, I always thought that he was a really great person from like day one. Like the people that he surrounds himself with, like the way that I see him always try and put all of his good friends like in positions to win. He's just always trying to think of like different avenues for anyone he cares about. Like, oh, that would be good for so-and-so to get into. Like, oh, let me see if I can call someone to like set them up. Like, and it was just always like admirable. I just loved the way that he always like treated people and always wanted them to like reach their fullest potential. And if he could help them in that way, like he was going to. And so that aspect of him, I just knew he was a good person. There was also another side of him where I knew when he would go out with his friends, and his friends are so much fun. And again, he's single, so like as he should, but I mean, he was crazy. So he definitely didn't look like someone who was trying to like settle down or like be in a relationship or be in love. I knew that if I was smart, which I think I am a lot of the times. I mean, it was pretty black and white, like, hey, you can have fun and this is your friend, but like, we're not trying to do anything else other than this. But
so like you were surprised that he freaked out because you're just more like, isn't this what you do?
yeah, exactly. I'm like, isn't this what you do? And also, like, give me a little more credit. Like, I'm cooler than that. Like, I'm not going to like fall in like, oh my God, now I'm in love with you. Like, I think he thought that I was going to be like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with you. It was amazing. And I was just like, okay.
Was it
like,
that, or was it more like I was being a little unprofessional and like I shouldn't have done that?
It was more of like the unprofessional side of it. Like
you could say that it was a little of both. Because remember when we decided that we were just going to have a little fun, you were like, we can't do this. Like, what did you say? Someone always falls in love. And he kind of got like quiet after that. And I'm like, you mean like I'll fall in love with you? Which.
I'm getting torse.
So yeah, you definitely did have a little bit of that in you.
Yeah, I just like part of it too is like I was still like in maniac mode, like meaning like enjoying being single and like
fucking dog.
Yeah. And so
like
a part of it too was like I wanted to protect her from me, and like all of my life I've had I'd say like a few good people in my life that have been girls that I've like thought about dating, and I've always ran away from knowing that like I wasn't there. And I pretty much was like thinking about like her as that. I was like, she's such a great person. I don't want to drag her into what I am right now because it's not good for anybody, you know? And so I was like, let's not tell anybody. Let's keep it. This can't happen again. Like, let's just finish up everything. And then, you know, I love working with you and let's keep it going, you know?
Yeah, we did work really well together. So, I mean, it really was a toss up on if this didn't work, like I did feel, I'm like, damn, I love working with him because we have the same energy when we work. Like, we'll just do what we need to do to get it done. So that was probably the scariest part, was thinking, dang, I finally found something that like I truly enjoy and like someone who matches like my energy in that aspect. If this doesn't work, I feel like it'll just be so awkward that it's like, okay, I'm not dating him and I
don't have a job.
Yeah, I don't have a job.
Well, like you guys started talking about how like similar you two were, and like another similarity is like, you know, we had different reputations, but both Ty and I had like big reputations.
Mhm.
You know, like once Natalie and I started dating, she started like learning about like what my reputation was and how strong of opinion some people had about me.
Mhm.
And like Tyler, again, he comes in with this like very dominant reputation, and his reputation being like the ladies' man
Mhm.
of Bachelor Nation. Like, you know, it's like it's one thing to be a guy on a show that's followed by women. Hell, even as a divisive character, I did just fine, like as a single guy. But like he's the guy that's just like every woman is supposed to like, you know, he's the heartthrob. And there's like, do you ever, honestly, I'm curious, I've never asked you, did you ever feel that pressure, like that you were supposed to act a certain way where it was just like you were truly objectified? I mean, I'm sure sometimes it's fun, but like, did it ever get annoying and frustrating?
Well, I think it creates a pressure of like either you have to be single and live up to it and like be always available and be the bachelor type guy, like, and, you know, around. And like, so I was like, it's more profitable to be single and wanted than it is to be with somebody, you know, was like kind of like one thought process. And then like, it just like became, you know, I think too, like when I met, like getting to know you and being around you, I was like, you're not the type of girl you just date and hook up with. Like, you're the type of girl like you end up marrying, like, because you possess all the qualities that would make an amazing mother and an amazing wife and an amazing best friend. So I was like, telling myself, like, if you're not ready to fully go down that route, you don't mess this up. You don't mess her up. You know what I mean? So like, that's what I was like kind of fighting and battling. And then it was also like me like losing being single. Like, does that ruin the reputation of who I am? Like you're saying, you know? And so it was kind of juggling all that to come to a decision. And then finally I was like around her so much, and, you know, like I could still feel like sometimes like I would like run away with the boys and we go have wild weekends still because we weren't together, and like I could see it like affecting us, you know? And I was like, you got to come to a decision here soon and make
So how long was that, like, kind of fucking around?
It was probably like 2 months. I would say like 2 months of just like messing around. I know the first time I thought like, oh my God, does he like me? I think I've told you this before.
when I slept over.
Yes. So he was doing something in Miami, and as he does, like he never, you know, checks in or anything. Like we were just having fun. And he always would, like, I think there was like another night of something, and he called me at like 5 a.m. and he was like, hey, are you at home? And I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, I just don't feel like driving all the way to my house, like 15 minutes longer. So I'm just gonna come to your house and sleep. And I was like, okay, what? So I'm like waking up, and like my little sister comes out because we were living in an apartment together. She comes out of her and she's like, what are you doing? I was like, I don't know. Tyler like wants to like come like.
Were you like cleaning? Were you like
No,
picking
I
up-
was just like, I didn't know like why, like what was going on. And I guess she just heard me out there, and I was like, I don't like, he just wants to come like sleep. She's like, why? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, this is so weird. So she was like, I think he likes you. I was like, he doesn't like me. I'm like, this is so weird. So then he comes over.
It definitely feels like a scene you just watch at a rom-com.
Yeah.
Like,
And so then I'm like, he gets there. And before this point, every time like we hooked up, like we would kind of like, we'd fist bump or high five, and we'd turn around and like we'd sleep. Like it was not like we weren't lovey-dovey. We weren't snuggling at all. And he came over driving home and slept, and just I laid in bed, and he just grabbed me, and like we just cuddled like the whole night. And I remember I just laid there in bed while he was cuddling me,
With your eyes wide
open, like freaking out and like wondering what was going on.
That is so funny. I have that same memory with Nick of like, it's like just hooking up, and it's like really, you don't like, it's not that serious. You're like just cool. And then you like kind of start to get feelings, and then they start kind of showing more affection. And then, like the going to bed and like him wanting to cuddle. I was like, wait, he's obsessed with me.
I'm like, be cool, be cool. It's yeah, I know you're obsessed with me.
He's literally obsessed with me. That's crazy.
do you remember that time?
Yeah, I don't remember like that, you know?
What made you want to call her that time?
I just was like, I don't know. I think it's like one of those things like where you're just like wanting comfort and like someone to be like, all right, you know, I think a lot of this time in the light is fun, but it's also very lonely as much as it doesn't seem lonely. And then it's like I finally had like someone who's like starting to become like your best friend and feel like it, you know, like you want to be around them, you know? And I think it was like one of those turning moments, you know? There was like many of those moments that come out like throughout that like I was like, oh, that's a big turning moment. That was a big turning moment, you know?
So then the next morning, he wakes up. He brought a bag in, like a duffel bag. He wakes up the next morning. He has to go to do something for work. And I'm getting ready, and I notice his duffel bag is like laying in my room. And in my mind, I'm like, why would he leave his duffel bag? That doesn't make any sense. Like, it's just a tiny bag. And so then I'm showing my sister, of course. And she's like, oh my God, he like left his bag because he like wants to come back here. This is how girls think.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm like, that's weird too. So then I'm making dinner that night, and he just calls me, and I'm like, he's like, oh, I left my bag there. Should I come get it? And I'm like, yeah, you can come get it. I'm just making dinner. He comes over, lays down on my couch when he gets in, and is like taking a nap. And I'm cooking dinner. And the whole time my sister and I are just catching eyes, like she's at the table and I'm just cooking. And we're kind of just like not
you made
knowing what
meatballs
to
that
say.
night.
What?
You made meatballs that
I
night.
did. So we're like looking. So then we're like sitting, we're eating dinner. Everything's fine. Everything's going good. And still things are kind of weird. And I start to clean up dinner, and he's like still there. And so I'm like doing the dishes. Now everything's done. He's still just sitting at the table. And so finally I'm like, okay, I want to go to bed. So I kind of look at him. I'm like, hey, so like, are you like staying here again? Or are you like leaving? Cause I'm going to like go in the room. And I went and like locked the door or something. And I walked back to my room, and he was like tucked under the covers, like ready to go to bed. I was like, okay,
Sleep mask on.
So I just like slid in next to him and like fell asleep. And yeah, then the next day it was.
But like you were happy about
No, I was
this?
happy. I was just like, what is going on? Because he doesn't speak like, I mean, he does a lot more now, obviously, but at that point, I think he was so
Yeah,
confused
guys do that. I don't know why.
at his feelings. Like he didn't communicate anything. And I think it was like a moment where he's like, well, maybe if I just start doing it, like it'll just like happen. Like I don't need to talk about it.
You cooked and cleaned and he just sat there and watched you?
Yeah, I don't know. I think
you're like, I'm cooking and he's sitting on the couch and I'm cleaning and he's still sitting there.
Natalie, we're still at I'm a guest period.
Yeah,
part,
sure.
okay?
He doesn't want to impose.
Sure. He doesn't want to overstep
I think his wheels were turning.
I think it would mean more if I was doing that. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, but I'm fascinated, like hearing Tate's story because, like, again, I'm sure you do have a different version of that. And like, what were you like? I remember the way Tate's telling the story. Like, I remember, and I've talked about it in different ways. But like, when I was like, do I actually do this thing? Do I date this person? I've been so afraid for different reasons, and like, and so finally, I was just kind of like, like I just kept thinking of all the reasons why it wouldn't work out. And then I was just like, well, I've been doing this do it, and it could just not work.
Or it could be the best thing that ever happened.
Yeah, and so, but I had to have a conversation with myself and like tell myself to just do the thing that I was so afraid of doing. Did you ever, like, whether it was that night or prior to that or after that, do you remember a time where?
Yeah, I think I've had a lot of conversations with myself, in my head, because I was, like I said, I thought she would be the most amazing mother, the most amazing wife and best friend and all these things. And I was just like, if you do this, like, you got to go do it. You know what I mean? And it's like, you can't half-ass it and you got to treat her, 100% right and all. So I was just like, it was one of those things like, you're going to give up one life to do another, and there was like many signs that like I wanted to be with her and many things I want, she's the first person I ever dated that reminded me of my mother in like all of the good ways. And like, I'm not asking Tate to be my mom or like take care, but I'm talking about just like the way she like lights up a room, the way she is just so much fun and energetic, but also like my mom was the hardest working person and Tate's the hardest working person I've ever met, and I was just like, damn, I see all the best qualities I ever had and like to me, the greatest woman I've ever had growing up, in her. So I was like, she would be like, just made me think of how amazing my mom was to us, like how she will be to her own, And so it was just one of those things is like, if you don't do something though, you're also going to probably lose this opportunity to be with the best person you probably have ever been with, And so I was like, let's just try, let's just give it a shot, And, I think, it was when it came time to the gala, we were like living together essentially at this point, and I was like, I would hate for this girl to have all these people in town asking, so what are you guys? How's it going? Like, who's this? You know what I mean? I was like, I need this girl to be my girlfriend. I want her to have the best time. I want this to be a great relationship. Like, this is a great way to kick it off. Let's do it, And
I appreciated that because I was having anxiety about
thing.
it.
I mean,
and I woke up really early that morning and like ran to Publix as soon as they opened.
And of course, I'm like, where are you? What are you doing? And he's like, just don't worry about it. And I'm like, you're being weird.
And so I go get flowers. I go get a card. And I'm like, will you be my girlfriend? Like, check one, I check the other. And she checked yes. And
thank God. Yeah. She's like, she checked no, but I've been holding her hostage.
But I just kind of stayed.
So, I mean, that was kind of like how it all started.
We're not big on trends, but we are big on clothes that feel good and last. And that's why we keep going back to Quince. Their lightweight layers and high quality staples have become our everyday essentials.
I can't tell you I'm wearing it right now. A black t-shirt, a pair of jeans, a cute belt, like the sneakers. Like, this is my everyday outfit. And I depend on Quince for all of these pieces. Quince has all things that you would actually want to wear this summer, like organic cotton silk polos, European linen beach shorts, comfortable pants that work for everything from backyard hangs to nice dinner, like nice linen lounge pants. Linen is the fabric of the summer, like we all accept that it wrinkles easy and no one judges you for it. And it's the most breathable, most comfortable thing to wear this summer. And Quince has the best linen line. You have to check it out.
It feels good. It lasts. It's made with quality, care, and love.
And they're priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands.
Stick to the staples that last with elevated essentials from Quince. Go to quince.com/VIALL for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's Quince, QUINCE.com quince.com/VIALL to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/VIALL.
Well, now that River has 10 teeth now, I mean, they're popping up like nobody's business. She's eating more snacks. I'm trying to find, fun ways to bring nutrition into her life, not just a bunch of fruit pouches throughout the day. So I've really been depending on Thrive Market to find those. Thrive Market is your favorite health food store, but it's online and it's way more affordable. I'm talking about premium brands like Primal Kitchen, Siete, Who, and Simple Mills, all delivered to your door and up to 30% less than what you'd pay at traditional stores. I can't tell you how many times I'm walking through aisles in grocery stores and I'm like, oh, this looks kid-friendly. And I look at it, I'm like, oh, it's organic. Oh, great. And then I go to the ingredients list and it's 900 chemicals in it. Well, with Thrive, everything they sell is non-GMO and meets incredibly high standards. They actually ban over 1,000 ingredients that are still allowed in U.S. products, like things like artificial dyes, preservatives, and seed oils that I've been trying to avoid. The site is super easy to shop. You can filter by diet, like gluten-free, paleo, keto, low sugar, vegan. So you're not wasting time reading every label. You can even stock up on wellness essentials like magnesium, omega-3s, and herbal teas. It's not just food. Thrive has supplements, household items, and clean beauty too, all vetted and all way more affordable than I expected.
Skip the junk without overspending. Head over to thrivemarket.com/VIALL to get 30% off your first order and a free $60 gift. That's thrivemarket.com/VIALL. Thrivemarket.com/VIALL.
Have you thought about what your mom would think of Tate?
My mom, that was part of it too, is that my mom would love Tate. And I think of all the girls I've dated in the past, I was my mom, it'd be it's 2.0, but but
they'd be best friends.
Yeah, they would just have so much fun together. And I was that's one thing I always thought of, was it always scared me how much she would resemble me. I'm it was a fearful thing at first, but I was you got to embrace it eventually. And I remember even one time, because my mom had a smell to her. And
a good smell.
She always wore perfumes, and
Yeah.
she always, you know what I mean? And I've never noticed that on anyone else, and then Tate had it. I was I remember that one time I was whoa.
It was the same perfume.
It wasn't the same perfume, but it was
Similar.
a strong, distinct
It's knew my
smell.
scent.
I was just and it made me think of my mom right away. I was this is crazy, and so I was just all these things were signs.
How soon did you meet Tate after your mom passed?
It was 3-4 years later.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Do you
Mhm.
feel like maybe there's a world in your mom put Tate in your life?
I think so. I think she's Tate's just been a blessing,
Yeah.
either way, I think it's something I'm very grateful for and glad I took the leap, because like I said, I've always been scared to do but not been scared to mess around with the wrong ones, but
Mhm.
always been scared of messing with the right one, because the right one, that's the end game.
You lose 'em, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think also I was your friend. We worked together, but we were friends. I think he respected me as a friend. So I think that also went into play. Other girls, you didn't have that type of relationship where she was hanging with your group of friends and stuff.
Mhm.
It was kind of
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
it's-
what I have most of all my relationships, I have my best friend, and I think every other relationship I've had is I had the girl I was a girlfriend, you know what I mean? Where here I have my best friend too. And I have someone that, we get up and we do everything with when she's 80 and I'm bringing 20 sometimes, and or sometimes it flips, and sometimes we catch it and we're both 100 and it's sick, but a
It
lot
is
of
too much, honestly.
honestly, it's
yeah.
well,
Way
calm
too
down.
much.
Then all the walls are getting demolished in the house,
How were you nervous about once people started learning about you being in Tyler's life and the role you played in it? Because the internet is very
Mean.
mean,
Mhm.
especially to women.
Mhm.
Natalie's gone through a hell of a time dating me as a result of my audience and things like that. And obviously Tyler's audience is a certain kind of audience with certain expectations of Tyler, and you're kind of coming in and maybe to some people ruining that, because again,
Mhm.
he was, I was notoriously single, but Tyler was famously single,
Mm-hmm.
and was that intimidating for you? What was that like?
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. As much as you want to be I'm so cool and not bothered by anything.
Mhm.
Of course, I had a tidbit of anxiety as far as, oh, he's obviously very beautiful. and like so many girls want him. So I was just like waiting for people to be like, that's what he ended up with. Like, oh my God, this like beautiful man. Like that's what he like, that's his end game. And so like that was always like in the back of my head. I will say a lot of people, like the majority, so nice. They like cheer me on. They like hype me up. But of course, you can have so many good comments, and it's always the one. It's like, I mean, a lot of people are like, wow, he went from Gigi and, you know, Paige to this. Like, oh my God. And it's like, joke's on you guys. I know they're stunning. Like, I would love to look like that. I mean, I love looking like myself too. But like, I think we're all fine. And yeah, he dated beautiful people, of course. And I'm sure they were wonderful. But also, I'm like, should someone just marry them? Like, should he get married to someone just because they're better looking than me? Like, what's going on?
You also don't give yourself like, you're beautiful and stunning, and I love bringing you to like all these like influencer events and these like whatever these things are, stagecoach, all these things. I'm like, see, like they ain't that fucking special. Like, you know what I mean? Like
it's that Instagram filter.
Yeah, I'm like, you're beautiful. All these
like,
people.
you almost feel like you're supposed to like concede to like Gigi Hadid, you know, because like she's literally known as a supermodel, as this like.
Well, her ex Bella dates now, so she's been bagging people forever.
Yeah, y'all kept it in family.
Both the Hadid sisters. That's my biggest flex.
It's just a mind fuck. What was it like for you at first?
I remember like distinctly, I think having a conversation with you being like, I'm not ready to like tell the world yet. Like it was like very scary for me, and I think it's because people kind of like caught wind. I was like took a selfie in the backyard and someone like matched up like it was, and I remember it, and I was getting like DMs already, and we hadn't even like posted anything, and I just got really nervous, and I remember being like, I'm just not ready for this, like I think we should wait, because like once you invite a third party into your relationship, it's very hard, and especially for someone who's not used to it and has never had to worry about like
the stuff that people come at her for is just like they're just like, a lot of them are trying to find things, you know, so they make issues over spilt milk. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like literally and figuratively, you know, and it's just like a lot. You have to think about it. It's like projection of themselves. It's like things that they wish they had or they don't. You know what I mean? And like I've gotten so much shit. You've gotten like we're trained for this, you know. And so when you get now, like I'm sure you're much more trained for it now. Yeah. And like now you're thrown into the fire, which is like a scary thing. Like we're throwing you to the wolves, and like you got to kind of just learn how to take the punches and roll with it. It sucks.
Hard.
And like,
I think people like to create their own stories too, because if not, like nothing's interesting. So it's like they like to create what they think it is, and then someone else likes what they've created, so then they chime in, and then it like just rolls. And
we've always said like the truth is never as viral or interesting or like juicy as whatever boring. This person's story has made up,
and it dies.
And it dies. And at the end of the day, it's like, I don't know them. They don't know me. Yeah. Like, why would this affect my life when I literally have never, probably will never, ever meet this person?
But like, what advice or help has Tyler given you as you have started to like grow your platform and people are starting to give opinions to you that aren't warranted?
Honestly, Tyler, being in a relationship with him, and I say this to him all the time, it doesn't bother me as much when people, if they decide to shit on me online, because he's the first boyfriend I've ever dated who truly lets me be my 100% full self, and he loves it too. I've dated guys who've pretended like they like how fun and outgoing I am and act like it's, oh my God, you're like the greatest, and then we'll get further into the relationship and they've like got me, and then all of a sudden everything I do is like bad, and they make me feel bad for everything, and I start to hate myself. So it's easy to like shy away like these stupid comments, because I mean, he is like my biggest hype man. If anything, like he's like telling me, go dance more, go be crazier, go. He's like, he loves it. And like, I always catch him like watching me from the sidelines, just like with light in his eyes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never had someone just fully like just absolutely love who I am. It's taken out such like the mind game of it, where I feel like in past relationships, it was like, I'm such a people pleaser that I was always just trying to think of like, okay, if I just do this, then they'll be happy. Or if I just do this, then they'll be happy. And like, okay, if I just like reel it in a little bit, like, then like they won't yell at me. And I don't even, this was a joke one time, which actually isn't a joke, and I'm probably toxic. But he said one time when we were joking and I was yelling at him to do something, he's like, "Did you talk to all your other boyfriends like this?" And I go, "No, because none of them has ever been as nice as you are to me."
Yeah, I was scared.
And he's like, "Wait a second." And I was like, "You know what? That's actually kind of messed up." But it's true. Like I don't think, I used to sit in bed and think about like every scenario that could happen, or what would I say if this happened, or this and that. And it's like, I'm so open, like we're so open, like we know everything. It's just so much easier. It's such a nice feeling to like not feel like you're trying to like conform and like shapeshift into like who this person thinks that you should be. And yeah.
I remember early on, she'd be like so afraid because like she thought she messed something up. It was almost like coward from me. I'm like, yo, what's wrong? You know, I'm like, she's like, well, I messed this up and I don't want you. I'm like, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Like she got
When you say mess up, what do you mean?
like, for instance, this is a really like, she was driving my truck and got T-boned.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And when she got T-boned, she called me freaking out like, I'm so sorry about your car. I'm like, fuck the car. Are you good? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and like I get there and she's like so worried about like the car. Like, are you know, like me being mad at her.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you're healthy. You're like, your sister's healthy. Everyone's good. Like, thank fucking God. Like, like that stuff, no money or not, like that stuff, we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? And she was like, and then like, I remember they're like, oh my God, like my ex would have freaked out on me and like, you know, went ballistic on me. I was like, why? Like, I don't know. I also grew up in a household like where like my parents fought a lot and I don't like to fight. Like if you get me to yell or like I must be losing my mind about something because like I try to never fight. I have a hard time speaking up about things that I don't like just because I've like been around like combativeness my whole life. I just like will do anything to avoid a fight, you know?
Do you think that's something you've had to work on? Because at some point you guys need to like
I have
talk
to be
shit
better
too.
about speaking up about things.
Yeah.
And like I think I'm better with us. Sometimes she'll know because I'll get quiet about things and she'll be like, what is it? And then she'll pull it out of me. And then
You're good at talking though. Another moment where I was like, oh my gosh, is when we pretty early on, I was like after the gala when we have like officially were dating, I was upset about something and I have a hard time speaking up too because I just felt like everything I would say in like previous relationships was wrong. And so I would always try to say it like as eloquently as I could. And then it would always just make it worse. And I would end up crying. And it was like, okay, well, I should just like shut up and like not speak. And one time I got upset and he came over to me and he's like, get off the computer, stand up. He's like, we're going for a walk. And he like made me take a walk around the neighborhood with him. And he's like, I can't fix like what's going on. And I can't be better unless you communicate to me like what it is that I did or like what is bothering you. And it was such like I was probably like a deer in headlights too, like the first night we snuggled. Cause I was like so taken back that I was like, oh my God, like we're going to just talk. Like we're not going to yell. Like I'm not going to cry. Like this is crazy. So it's, yeah.
But I will tell you though, when I do get in these little arguments with her, she's so logical and so good at remembering everything. I just get crushed.
How do y'all fight if you do fight?
I think we just like, if something's up, like either we'll like get into it right away and then we'll settle it right away.
Mm-hmm. Like does one of y'all need your space and then like you'll come back? Sometimes
we do.
Down?
Sometimes we do. It's on and off. I think most of the time, if it's something that he does, the reason that we can kind of get over it so quickly is I find that he doesn't it's not like he's intentionally trying to like do whatever he's doing to like irritate me or like, you know, piss me off. So it's easier to be like when he explains it and I'm just like, okay, you were just an idiot. It makes it easier to just kind of like roll past it. As long as I'm like, hey, like I'm acknowledging that you're an idiot, but like, please acknowledge that like, maybe let's do that a different way. Like the next time you decide to do that.
But I mean, like, it's interesting. You weren't in the public eye. Nally wasn't in the public eye. I don't know about you, but like, did you ever give any thought, like once you were in the public eye, once you had dated some monster celebrities, there is an element of like, it's sometimes easier to date people in the public eye because you don't get like, I've been on dates where it's just like, what was like so-and-so like, or they pretend not to have watched. And then it's just like, then they just make you feel kind of weird, you know?
Yeah.
But I've dated like celebrities, and that's a whole another kind of weird, you know? And like, were you surprised that you ended up with someone who didn't start in the public eye or give thought to like whether you preferred someone who did or didn't? The reality is like, our world is weird. Like, it's not normal. We normalize our lives, and then we forget how unnormal it can be when we like get into a relationship. And I'm like, again, like how this whole conversation started. We're like, hey, I'm doing GMA, I got a thing. And she's like, this motherfucker invited me to a date he's on with another person, you know? And like, Natalie would bring that.
I'm cool. I'm just a cool
Natalie
girl.
would bring that up a couple times.
cool.
And in my mind, I'm just thinking like, calm down. Like, what's the big deal? Like, I felt like she was like making a big deal about something that wasn't.
Yeah, well, I think I've run into that a lot of times. Like, she's like,
Yes.
if you would have just explained it more to me, I would have felt more comfortable in the situation. And we overlook it because we just think things are so normal, you know. And so like that has been like a huge learning lesson, is like talking things through, like what it is and why we're doing it this way, you know. Especially early on in a relationship when we were like keeping under the wraps and everything like that. It was just like we were doing it this way because the show and you know what I mean. It was just all that.
I will say you've gotten significantly better at just keeping me in the loop. In the beginning, it was very frustrating because I would always just want to be in the loop. But then when I would say that to him, he would take it as like me telling him not to do stuff. And he'd be like, this is my job. Like, and he would make it like, this is my job. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, this is the things that I have to do. And it was never about like, hey, I don't care if everyone else thinks that like, if you go on a talk show, you're dating someone that you were on a talk show with or whatever. But like, if you go on there and I don't know that you're going to be on there, like, and this girl's flirting with you and all this different stuff, like, I feel stupid.
No, totally.
Like, I don't care if the rest of the world thinks I'm stupid because, haha, they don't know that I'm in the loop.
Right. No,
Yeah.
totally. I mean, I remember Nick and I were fully, not dating, but definitely
We
together.
together.
And he posted an Instagram picture with and like made a caption like very flirty, and everyone in the captions was like, oh my gosh, y'all should date. And I was like, why? Like, what? I'm sitting at home in Georgia, like not with this man, being like, oh my God, I'm like, am I stupid? Like, what the hell? And if he just would have been like, hey, I got to do this bit for Instagram. People are going to lean in and it's going to be stupid, but like, don't worry.
I didn't give it a
And that's
thought.
kind of like what a lot of this stuff is like we just do things because we know it's going to get a reaction.
Yeah.
And we know that it's just like, because the whole part of this game that we're playing is just keep getting reactions, keep getting reactions, keep getting, you know what I mean? So now I think our game is hopefully getting reactions to the houses we build and design, you know?
But what I recently, there's been like you threw like a milk jug or something, some milk at like a DJ.
Yes.
So you've been getting heat?
Oh, yeah. It's actually my first round of like people just
Like you done it.
like really hate me like because of this bit, which I'll say this from an outside perspective looking in, it's a lot. Our friend at Country Night, they are DJs. So they were DJing at the day party that Tyler's been putting on in Jupiter at this bar called Topside. And they bring jugs of milk when they DJ places. And they're my friends. We also had our friend JP there, who's a maniac. So he like hypes me up and whatever. Anyways,
You kind of look like Mrs. Doubtfire.
I'm a maniac to begin with. Like, if anyone knows me, like, I don't care if I'm in. Here I am. Yeah.
She's just like drowning herself in milk.
And then I fall, which everyone's like, oh my gosh, she's blackout drunk, which, I mean, I don't know if this helps or doesn't help because maybe if I'm blackout drunk, it will make me not look so stupid. But I really had only had like 2 or 3 drinks. Like, I was not blacked out at all. Like, I went home, ate dinner, like, and then I went somewhere else like later that night. But there was one point where I slipped because the milk is so slippery when you wear cowboy boots, and Tyler tried to help me up and I like push him away and I'm like, no, I've got this. And in my mind, I was thinking, oh, like when people crowd surf and they don't get caught and like they fall on the ground and then the crowd goes silent. But then they pop back up and everyone's like, yeah, that was what I wanted to do. And in my mind, I was going to do it where I was like, no, like, don't help me. I got this. And I was going to do a cool trick and pop back up. But then I slipped on the milk again when I tried to do my cool trick. But anyways, everyone's like, she's so rude. Like, he's such a gentleman. He's trying to help her up. And like, she's such a bitch. Like, how could he be like, out of everyone. Like, how could you be blah, blah, blah. They hated that I pushed him away. And it really wasn't that serious and it wasn't that deep. And
yeah, no, I mean,
I blame him. He's hyping me up. He was like, yeah, pour the milk, dance. Like, and he posted that video while I was sleeping. I was like taking a nap.
Wait, you posted that?
The milk video he posted while I was asleep.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he posts dancing videos, but the slippery milk made it look like I was way more wasted than I actually was.
You were just slipping.
Yeah. And then people have to bring in like, oh, that's like the chick that you want to be like the mother of your like children. And I'm like, okay, can we just relax? Like,
yeah, they love to take
yeah.
it
And they're
really
like,
far.
oh my God, can you imagine being her mom? I was like, my mom thinks I'm awesome. And my mom would be pouring the milk on her as well. And we'd be in it together. So, but
people do come out of
Yeah.
like the woodwork with crazy comments. I just said this the other day, but we posted our like full wedding video on our anniversary, and someone commented, wearing a full-length veil while fully having birthed a child seems ironic. And I'm like,
what? The things
okay.
people like.
You wanted me to wear a red dress?
Yes.
Like
I
a
guess.
veil's
Like with an
supposed to,
A
like,
on it.
like symbolize virginity.
Oh,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. There's like all
purity.
the white dress is. It's all.
They
like,
were slut shaming my
Yeah.
wife.
Yes.
Yeah, they were calling me a whore.
Yeah.
They said I looked like I was having no fun
Yeah.
in the video.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
No,
I replied, I'm sorry you're hurting. I got a lot of likes.
Yeah.
I just like even that whole video. I posted like 6 videos of her dancing, and they all like it's all fun because I love watching her dance. Like I'm always like cheering her on. Like I have so many videos of her dancing just because it's like she does this stupid ass move, and I freaking love it.
He loves my grapevine.
Yeah, and so like
Eats it up.
I think it's so fun because
Eats it up.
like I don't know. I've always like been like love being around the person who likes to go for it and likes to give it the raw, and like whatever we're doing, she always does that.
Do you feel like your past girlfriends have been like too cool?
Yeah, and I hate that
yeah.
because like if you meet any of my friends, we're the village idiots.
Yeah.
Like we're all having fun, we're all cutting up, we're all getting down, and like she's one of the village idiots like us, you know, and like we don't go out that much. So when we do, like we'll go for it because like why sit on your ass? You
Also,
know?
he's the one like hosting these day parties. So I'm trying to actively, like, I want them to be a success for him. I mean, that I probably could have gone a more mellow route, but
Like it's a creative choice. It
yeah,
missed, whatever.
thank
Like,
you. But
it was a creative choice.
even the day parties that he had previous, it's like I am trying to get everyone excited. I'm trying to get everyone up dancing. Like I am trying to create like a fun space for everyone to just like let loose.
You were literally thinking
I
of
was
your
thinking
boyfriend.
of Tyler, you guys.
Literally.
No, I just like I love it when she's like cutting her rug and like making moves. Like it just to me it's fun. I enjoy it, and that's all I thought it was, you know. And like people are like, "Oh, you should push away." I'm like, "That's a guy. If your girl falls, go help her up. If she doesn't want the help, let her be."
Yeah.
Like don't take a.
Not
I
that
didn't-
deep.
I took zero offense to it. I was just there every time she fell, and I knew she was going to keep cutting, move, and keep doing it.
When
Like,
I saw it though, I was like, it does look rude. Like the way that it's
no,
like
you're
I
just-
know what I was thinking in my mind,
You-
but like it looked rude. So I knew as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, people are gonna like have something to say about this.
Sure, yes, we can. It's very easy to watch. Certainly a picture, but definitely a video to
Yeah.
interpret it in
Yeah.
a million.
Again, people love to
different
make
ways.
stories.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, I just like I think I don't know. I don't think it looks rude. I think you start to think it looks rude because of what people say. The one issue I have with comments, and it's even happened to me, like the more people comment, the more shit you read, the more you become trigger shy and posting the stuff you do. Like I think about the stuff I used to post, like when I came out the I was wild and like letting shit rip, and it was funny. It was this, it was that. But then you say something here and it didn't work
Mhm.
for something. Then you start kind of getting more sensitive and more sensitive.
Nick always says it handcuffs you creatively.
It does.
It
It
does,
does.
yeah.
And so it's like I get upset with her when she's like reading this stuff. I'm like, don't, because like it'll start to be in the back of your mind when you're starting to think about saying something or doing something.
You think about this
You think-
one person. who
Yeah,
had
you know,
one
and like
thing
it's
to
I call it
say,
80-20 rule. Like 80% of it's great, 20% of it sucks. Like why focus on the 20?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think that's definitely like one thing that Nick has very much instilled in my brain that I'm very grateful for, because in the beginning I was definitely like reading every comment. I was like scouring Reddit, being like, what do these people
Yeah.
think of me? Like I need acceptance from anonymous strangers.
yes.
And then it was like so fucking mean.
Mhm.
And Nick was like, you have to stop reading this
Mhm.
stuff. The good stuff doesn't matter. The
Mhm.
bad stuff doesn't matter. You just like can't read any of it. And honestly,
And I was
it
like,
has
by the way,
been, like-
no one fucking likes me on Reddit. So like,
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
go looking for a compliment.
Yeah,
you will
there's
not
a-
find it.
You won't
Yeah.
find, yeah, it's just like, and I think like Benny Blanco was just like in an interview saying all of this, where he doesn't read any of it because it's like the good comments aren't good for you because you believe them because you're like, oh my God, like I am.
Oh my
beautiful.
God, I'm amazing.
Thank you. And then you read the hate comment and you're like,
Well, they're both strangers.
I did
They're
just
both
believe
so
that.
you have to believe the bad if you're going to believe the good.
And think about it. Do you think about your close friends? This is how I was trying to think about it. Think about your close friends. Do you think they're the ones that would go on to Reddit and be an anonymous person and sit there and have conversations about people they don't know all the time? Or do you think they would be the ones with a fake profile, like commenting mean stuff on people's stuff? Like our close friends wouldn't be the ones doing that. Like then you got to realize what kind of person that is, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, don't stoop to that level, and like, don't let the people that are at that level affect what's going on in your brain and your creativeness and your self-conscious, you know, like who you think you are. Cause it sucks. It fucks everyone up. And like, I think we're all ignorant to say it doesn't, because it all, at one point, like we've been through the ringer, you know, like, and then now you all getting thrown into it.
Yeah, that's just hard. Thanks, guys.
I do think, you know, the sad part about it is that like one day it's going to end really bad for somebody.
Yeah.
And it's going to be someone that we all know, and like someone's like,
oh, sure. Yeah.
You know, like
no, I know. Sometimes I just like can't comprehend that, like, just because it's like the thought of like creating a profile just to say like nasty things about someone you've never met before is like so wild to me that someone would spend their time doing that. But it's like just a constant, like, you kind of have to just practice, like, not.
You also, like,
caring.
part of it too is just like, you know, there's always a lot of conversations, especially like about reality TV, and like when we cover it in terms of like, you know, the bad producers, or like the moral responsibility of these TV shows and these big mean contracts we all sign. And like, I'm not here to like defend production companies or producers or things like that, but like, I think sometimes we also have to remember, like, it's different for you ladies because like you didn't sign up for this, you know, like Nally is a little different. Not, you know, like right now you still have just been playing the role of like, you're doing your thing. You're Tyler Cameron's girlfriend. Nally has chose to be on the show. She has chosen to like, you know, do a brand deal. You know, being like, now Nally is in it, right? And so like, once you're in like this arena, the business of it, like the haters pay your bills.
Yeah.
Like honestly,
100%.
it's not your fans as much as it is the haters. They keep people engaged. Like the haters activate your fans. Like, because most of your fans are too busy going about their lives and be like, yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
You know, and it's always like when your haters like really just, you know, and your fan comes across a hate comment and they want to kind of defend you.
Yeah.
But it's like you really have to let the haters, you have to be okay with it. Like it is like the game we kind of chose. Like again,
100%.
you're a little different because you didn't choose this as much. So that's the part that sucks. But like as we become more involved, like it just kind of comes with the territory. And once you just kind of accept that, where it's just like, you know, almost, it's like a necessary thing that needs to happen.
100%. I mean, at the end of the day, it's fun. Like there's so much fun that comes with coming into this stuff. The things that I've gotten to do with him, like even our day to day, like the simple things. Like if I just was in normal life, it's like you don't get to do what we do and like do it so closely, like with, you know, your partner. So I think we're very lucky too.
Yeah, I think part of the reason, like one of the biggest reasons I fell in love with Tate was like her light shines so bright, and it shines so bright on like so many of the people, and like she just lifts everyone's energy up. Like, and I love that about her. And I just get worried of people dimming that light, and I don't like. That's the only thing I ever get scared of. And like because I do push you a lot. I'm like, you need to like do this and do that, and like I'm trying to tell her, you need to start an interior design company.
He starts a new business for me like every day as I'm trying to start the 10 businesses that he wants to start for himself.
That's Nick.
But I just think you're so skilled, so like have such a vision, like so great at all these things. And I'm like, I'm always trying to push you. And I get afraid that you seeing and hearing and reading what other people have to say about you will make you scared to do that. Cause like it has affected me. And like, I don't want those effects to affect you. It makes me insecure about certain things I want to try and do. Like where I'm just like, no, you just gotta stop worrying about what these people say and just go do it. And like, that's why I'll get on you about like, don't read that. Like, come on, like that's not who you are, you know, like, because I'm like, I think Tate as a whole could be just whatever she wants to be. She could be the best. She could be the best designer. She could be the best personality. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to. Like,
I totally hear what you're saying. But also, you got to remember, like, your guys' story too. Like, it's a cautionary tale in a way. Like, I mean, truly, like, the story you just told, like, it's not realistic.
Yeah.
We became friends first.
Yeah.
With the heartthrob guy,
Yeah.
like, oh, well, for all the ladies out there who are friends with a guy they are secretly in love with, that they've been chasing for a long time, do not listen to this episode.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but with that, you are going to get a shit ton of fucking haters and criticisms. Yes. And it doesn't, like, I think the people who ever probably even say that shit and project that shit, like, it's just like, they're not, it's just like, as soon as they see the milk video, right?
Yes.
Their first thought was like, why does this bitch deserve this life?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Like, I would never throw milk. I deserve this.
Yes.
Why can't, you know what I'm saying? It's just coming from that place of like encapsulating everything about who you are by watching this video and then projecting what's not going right for them and being frustrated with what's going right for you. And then turns
But then it's like you have to think about how you thought about that day before you read any comments. And like, I bet you were like, that was so much fun.
Oh, we had a ball.
We had a great time.
Yes.
And then like, if the comments were, oh my gosh, she's so silly and goofy, love her. Like, you would never have a bad thought about it once. But because one person, 2 people, 3 people were like,
I start dissecting
OMG, you're like, oh yeah, I shouldn't have done that. And yeah, it did kind of look rude. And I should... and it's like you never would have thought that if you hadn't have read those comments.
Yeah. No, I did tell Tyler when we went to Stagecoach, I was like, no videos of me dancing. We're not doing that this time.
I was like, boo.
Yeah,
we missed out.
Say boo.
We missed out.
Yeah. I danced a little bit.
If you are running a business, every missed call is money left on the table. Think about the last time you had a plumbing emergency if the first plumber didn't answer. Did you wait or call the next one on the list? Chances are you moved on. With OpenPhone, you never miss an opportunity to connect with your customers. OpenPhone is the #1 business phone system that streamlines and scales your customer communications. It works through an app on your phone or computer, so no more carrying 2 phones or using a landline.
With OpenPhone, your team can share one number and collaborate on customer calls and texts like a shared inbox. That way, any teammate can pick up right where the last person left off, keeping response times faster than ever. Plus, say goodbye to voicemail. Their AI agent can be set up in minutes to handle calls after hours, answer questions, and capture leads so you never miss a customer. So whether you're a one-person operation drowning in calls and texts, or have a large team that needs better collaboration tools, OpenPhone is a no-brainer. See why over 60,000 businesses trust OpenPhone.
OpenPhone is offering my listeners 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com/VIALL. That's OPENPHONE.com/VIALL. And if you have existing numbers with another service, OpenPhone will port them over at no extra charge. OpenPhone, no missed calls, no missed customers. This summer, take scent on the road with Puricar Pro. It's the smart, stylish car diffuser that lets you control premium fragrances on your phone. From commutes to weekend getaways, elevate every drive, and for a limited time, get 20% off Puricar Pro and all car scents with code CAR20. Head to pure.com to claim the deal before it's gone.
Another funny fact, I actually wing-womaned for Tyler a bunch too. And would like...
Oh, say more.
Yeah. He has this thing, or he had this thing, where he's an avoidant. So like he never knew how to like get girls to leave. So he would always do this thing where they would like start hanging around and they like think that they're like finally the person that like Tyler Cameron is like falling in love with. And all of a sudden I'd get a call, or our friend Kate would get a call, or us together would get a call like, hey, can you guys just come here for a sec? And so we'd go hang out. All of a sudden, where's Tyler? He's like not at the house anymore. Like we're all hanging out. He like leaves us with this girl. And then this was like multiple times. And
so you had to like send home the booty calls?
Oh yeah, I would pick them up sometimes too. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I picked him up, dropped him off.
This was before we
That
ever did.
is
No,
so
we
fucked
understand.
up.
This
The
is
fact
before-
that you had your assistant doing that shit is crazy.
Yeah.
Pick up
Great.
somebody to meet me for an event.
I mean, the one time that I did, the time I picked them up, it was to go to like an event, but still funny.
I couldn't pick them up, so it was during work hours. I was like, can you go pick up this girl?
I don't think it was during.
You were clocked in.
Can you go pick up this girl from the station and then
would let you off.
and then bring her to me?
Yeah.
But you would take some home, like at the morning.
No. So he would be like, "Hey, yeah, could you just hang out with them?"
I made enough money to get an Uber for
No, for sure.
But sometimes they just wouldn't leave, and so then I would text him, and I've come to realize that Tyler would literally rather give a girl his home and just be like, "Just take it." And I'll leave.
Yeah, if we ever break up,
then like
good.
telling them that like, hey, I think it's time to go. Like, hey, I'm busy. Like maybe like let's get you an Uber home.
Can you just be like, hey, I have a doctor's appointment.
He makes it way too complicated.
Yeah.
This is like how the things that like used to upset me in the beginning, where I'd be like, hey, if you just communicated that with me, this wouldn't be that big of a deal. Like that's another example, but like a little bit deeper. Like
I had a girl that came
made
in
it
and
so much worse.
She came in and bought a one-way ticket in. I just didn't know when she was ever leaving.
How long?
I didn't know how to get her to leave.
She flew in.
Yeah.
And
And then I started
right
calling,
away. I would have panicked.
I started calling Kate and Tate. I was like, "Hey, can you all go hang out with her for a little bit?" And I'd be like, "Work is actually going to be at the Airbnb, so we can hang by the pool."
Mm-hmm.
So then I make our work day at the Airbnb. Then I would dip out. I got errands to run.
Remember when we all got our nails done?
Everyone got the nails done,
And hers took like 10 extra hours. We got like, I don't know, something simple and stupid. She like got a pedicure, got like a gel with an acrylic. Like,
yeah.
So we're all like afterwards, we're sitting in the front of the nail salon, all three of us just sitting there. And she's just like back at the table. She's like, sorry about this. I'm like,
Almost
what
done.
is happening? And then takes his card and like pays for it. I mean, as a real gentleman does. And then I remember it was like an hour later, she did something like we were all trying to play like bump a volleyball or something, and it just went and it broke her nail. I
not
know.
The nail.
We're all like, damn, that's rough.
She's like, I gotta go back.
Yeah.
You want to come with?
Yeah, we're like, you got to go.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, Tate saw it all before she got into this mess. So
Truly.
Mhm.
but I think I'm excited for her and I'm excited for us. I think the reason why we work well together is just because we both we want to build something special. We want to build a house. We want to build a family. We want to do these things. It's not just
So when do you think you're gonna propose?
Let's just get right to it.
Is
Eh?
that the deep question you wanted me to?
Yeah.
Well, he's
She's
the one
like,
being like,
yeah,
and the family.
do it.
It's like, okay, so when do
I
we-
mean, the reason why one of the main reasons I think she'd be the best mother, best wife, all that stuff. So I was like, any idea I got, she's like down to try and make it happen and build it out. And same with her.
She's
I'm like,
built your whole house.
she pretty much
With my bare hands.
With her bare hands.
I tried to help, but then she fires me all the
She
time.
is laying grout. Like this bitch
yes.
is crazy.
Yeah, she stoned our whole fireplaces and grouted. And then she fired the painters out of the house, kicked them all out, and then painted the whole thing herself before we had our Pottery Barn deal. And then I tried to help stone in one place, and then it all fell on me, and she kicked me out.
He has really good intentions when he like comes to help, and it's like cute, and it's like, oh my gosh. And then all of a sudden, like his foot is in like a paint can, and he's like falling over and like knocking over, I don't know, the ladder that I'm on, and I'm like
Dead.
hanging from the ceiling. Yeah, dead, like not alive anymore. And so it's always good in like good intentions, but I'm always just like, just set it down and just go somewhere else. And then I started thinking, like, are you doing this on purpose?
Like you do want 5 kids.
Yes.
And like,
I know we got to get to it.
yeah,
I know.
at some point you do kind of.
And he's like so adamant.
Not that old.
The women do not have as much time.
And 5's a lot.
31.
Not that old.
But for 5?
And I'm not even engaged.
I don't know how to
It's
conceive.
not, and it's not even like a convo?
Here, I have a deep question for you. Something Natalie and I learned in our relationship is like our connection, and not like a tangible connection. Like, do we feel connected or do we feel disconnected?
Mm-hmm.
Like as a tangible thing to be mindful of. Does that make
Yes.
sense? Where it's just like I feel connected to my wife, or we're not on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are times where you feel the most connected, and like, what do you guys do if you're feeling disconnected? Who makes the first move to try to reconnect you guys?
I think the times we most feel connected, I'd say is like when we're building stuff, we're fired up about something. Like I think that's like when we're most connected, and like we see things come together, and like, damn, we did that. Like we can do this. We can do anything together, And I think
just at home life
getting through
is
home stuff together.
when I feel the most connected to
Yeah.
you. Like, yes, the building stuff, but like there's never been such like a sense of peace that I've ever had before, other than like ordering in food, like sitting on the couch at night, like it's just, and then I'm like looking around, I'm like, wow, like we're in our house, like this is our life, like and it just feels so right. And I don't know, and it's just easy. Like there's no, I think I said it earlier, but there's just no like, I feel like I used to think when I was in other relationships. And it's like, my mind is so calm when it's just us. Like it's so at ease. There's no like conflicting thoughts, like as I'm sitting there, like trying to think about the next move to make sure that I do the right next move. And I mean, I don't know if I scare you and you don't feel the same like that, but
No, I agree. I think what I was like harping on more like on my side of it, like when I feel like my biggest fear in life is losing it. Like my parents, they lost all their money when '08 happened and the market crashed, and then we lost our family shortly afterwards. Like it just went to shit. And so for me, like financial stability has always been like such a big thing, and I've always been on my own. And like this world that we're in now, like it's helped me expedite the success I've had like in construction and building all these things, because I basically went from being like, you know, a guy working with a hammer making $200 a week to now being able to buy homes, flip them, and do it all myself. And like I skipped all the middle part, you know. So really we're like learning how to flip and renovate these houses on our own. And when we're doing this stuff together, I love working with her because she's got such a good eye, and she's so like, she goes hard, so it makes me go hard. Like, and like we just work so well together. We push each other. And there's like, we'll get up at 6 a.m. and we'll leave a job site at like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, like eating barbecue and be like, fuck, we did it, you know?
Yeah.
And then like getting up and doing it again. And it's like fun. It's like, I'm doing it with my best friend, and like we're building something special. Cause like I have a fear of always like, well, this bachelor shit's gonna run out. Like, you know, I can't be making money off social media forever. So how the hell am I gonna make money elsewhere? And then it's like us building these things together, and, you know, going through these houses and building these, you know, like I want to build a property management company. I want to build more rentals. I want to build more units. I want to do all these things. And like, then once we knock one out and we knock the next one out, I'm like, damn, we can really build something special together. And like, you know, that we don't have to worry about being on our phones or doing any of this stuff. Like we can just, you know, and so like, that's where I feel connected, because we're pushing each other and making each other better and greater. And then we're always like, the way I look at things is like, we're creating lives for our kids. And so I don't know. I feel
5 children.
5 kids.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I love that answer. I relate to it a ton. I mean, it's just like, yeah, just like having a partner to do life with. I know it's like so cliche when you hear all like the wedding speeches and things like, I have a partner.
Yeah.
But it really is like, I don't know, there is something about feeling like knowing that you have that person to do life with, to do projects with, to like accomplish things together.
Yeah.
It's so much more meaningful, you know, like when you think of, you know, and like we have our daughter, so now it's just like it does make it more purposeful. Like, I mean, now it's just like I think about my life when I was single and just kind of like how stupid a lot of a lot of it was. Like I got to do fun shit, but there was really a kind of no
meaning behind it,
purpose or meaning. At least I didn't know what that meaning was, you know, other than like checking a box or doing something off, you know, that like, oh, that was cool, you know, as opposed to like having more meaning behind it. And like, yeah, just feeling like you're accomplishing something, and like, you know, to do things with Natalie is way more enjoyable than doing it by yourself.
Yeah.
I think like on the flip side, the only time I ever do feel disconnected is like when things like aren't rocking and rolling. You know what I mean? Like kind of like lately right now, like we've been sitting on our hands because like we just threw money into 2 houses, and then we have and then I just paid a lot of tax money. You know what I mean? I was
tax season, it's always
I was like, damn, I thought I had more money to invest than I do, you know? So then I'm like sitting on my hands, like, what do we do? What do we do? You know what I mean? And then I get squirrely in my head, and then we kind of like, I can feel like that's when I get disconnected. And then it's like, I should be expressing those feelings to her about like, I'm in my head about this, like I don't feel good about that. Like, and then we have those talks, and it's always so much better. Then we always lock in together more.
Because I always think it's something that I'm doing, and like he's disappointed in me. And yeah, the communication definitely during those times.
I think that's natural. I feel like that's probably how I feel as well. If we're disconnected, it's definitely a like sense of like what have I done that makes him feel like he's like pulling away, when usually it's just business or something that's in his own head. And you just like haven't gotten a chance to sit down and talk about it.
Yeah.
And I think too, like sometimes it's like I feel insecure about talking about it. You know, like I don't feel good about where I'm at with this and what I'm doing with this, or you know, because like business wise, financial wise, like I've never had anyone to teach me anything. You know, so it's like I've been getting screwed over, fucked over. You know, learning the hard way on all these things, and still learning the hard way on all these things. And I'm like, I don't want to tell her how I got burned or I just wasted this on this. You know what I mean? So it's like,
well, also like I just want to fight everyone, and he's like so much more chill and calm.
I'm just like making this up as I go.
Yeah.
Like I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Well, but I think, at the end of it, like it just gets better if we just keep doing it and we keep doing it together and we keep talking through it, like just like you, I mean, you've been such a great additive to what Nick does here. And it's like, but you guys just keep figuring it out and keep going and keep growing.
As someone who observes relationships a lot and judges people a lot, it's just great to see this relationship and you guys together, especially, we talk about guys and fuckboys and situationships a lot, like just hearing, like there are so many men out there, right? Men who are successful with women who for whatever Tyler did as a single person, like he was always upfront. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And whoever's, I don't know what you think about Tyler's version of his story when it was just like, I had all these women and then one, it's just like, then I have this person in front of me and I don't want to fuck it up. But like, there's a lot of intention behind that. And there are a lot of men who will float, like will say the L word and talk about relationships and to close the deal, essentially.
He did not do that.
To like get in bed.
Have you said I love you yet?
Oh God.
Y'all want to hear a fucking story?
Yeah.
You want me to tell it? So we hadn't said I love you yet. It was probably like a couple months into dating. We went on a brand trip to Aspen, and it was one of those moments where he was like in the shower, but I was like in the bathroom, like doing my makeup or something. And I was giggling about something he said. And I was like, I love you. Like, I love you. Like, cause he said something stupid. And I was like, no, it's fine. I'm like, God, I love you or something like that. Like slipped out. And I just immediately got quiet. And I was like, oh, I hope he didn't hear that. Like, what do I do now? And he was in the shower. So it was
like,
all
turn
steamy.
on the water. You're like, it's loud and you can't hear anything.
Probably like a 10-second pause. And then he just goes, Tate, you're the best. And I was like, oh,
brutal.
I'm going to just.
Okay.
Holy
Here's
shit.
my thing. Love is a very, very strong word.
Should have just pat her on the head.
Yeah. Attaboy.
Okay, buddy.
I don't think I said that. Maybe I said that.
You're just the best.
Yeah, could have been. I don't believe in just saying I love you to say I love you. Like, I think that's like very hypocritical. Like you said, just using the L word to get in bed with somebody. And so like, I'm not going to tell you that until I can fully say I do mean it. You know what I mean? And like, and love you as a friend, sure. But like, love you as someone who like romantically want to be like, in love with is like a different thing, And it took me until
yesterday.
Yeah. It happened right
Mother's
before
Day,
we walked
actually.
in.
It was Mother's Day.
Oh.
Yeah. But I just like, people probably shit on me for that.
No, I actually appreciate it because I think he has always been an
ready,
open
yeah.
book, and I was friends with him, and I'm friends with his friends who have seen him through like all of his relationships, and they always said like, oh, as soon as he likes a girl, he's like, oh, I love her, I'm gonna like, she is the best thing in the world. So it was actually cool to see how he was, where he would get like go all in and then it would always like crash and burn. Whereas like, wow, he's being so much more like delicate and like careful with me rather than like the other girls.
Yeah.
Like I'm like so different.
Different, just quirky.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I haven't known Tyler that long, but kind of what I was saying before, it's just like, I know that I was like that, where it was like, I never wanted to lead people on. I never said things about feelings I didn't mean. It's just like, if I was, people know me as a pretty direct, honest guy, and I very much was like that in dating. I mean, Nallie's told the story when we first met. I was like, we'll never date, and because I just didn't want to. But like the flip side of that is like, once I was in a relationship, like I don't fuck around, I'm very like, and I see that energy with Tyler in you, and it's very like, it's great. It's very endearing. It's very intentional, and like it's very real.
Date.
But
We'll
like,
never date.
Yeah,
What?
I was like, that's cute.
But
Like,
like,
say what?
but I like my first time I ever had a girl, it was like a year until I said I love you. Yeah, like I don't like 2 months. Like I'm sorry. Like we're still like getting romantic.
I mean,
To
in his
clarify, you have
defense
said it
too.
since.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There's rules now. Like I gotta say I love you and give her a kiss before I leave.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he'll
Like,
scurry back
There's
in.
no love you. It's I love you.
Yeah, I love you. Like big old smooch.
mhm.
Mm.
But-
And like I'm like excited and proud and happy to say it, you know, which was before I would have hated to say I love you at that point too, just for her to be happy. Then us saying it, and then I come and almost resent the word.
But then you love a love bomber.
Yeah.
So I you know. Yeah, I didn't know how to respond at that point. You know what I mean? Because when she said it, because Mother's Day, she said it again to me. She's like, "I just love you."
Well, he was talking about his mom.
That is a little confusing because it's just like, "I just love you." It's just like you can say that about anyone.
Yeah.
Like, but I love you.
Yeah.
And then the Mother's Day, she's like panicked. She's like,
because we were having a very deep conversation, and we were just sitting in the car, and he was talking about his mom, and I was like checking on him because I think that, you know, naturally that would be like a hard holiday. And I think it just came out like I was saying something nice, and I was like, you know, I just love you, and I just want you to like know that like I'm here. At that point, yes. At that point, I was like, is this guy ever going to tell me that he loves me? Because I like am so obsessed with him. Like, what's going on?
No, I just love you, and I just love you.
I just like love you, and I just like want you to know that, like I'm always here if you want to like talk. And then I like stopped, and I like tried to get out of the car, and I'm like, I'm sorry, like I didn't mean like da. And he was like, can you like get back in and like chill the fuck out?
So was that in the car that he bought you?
No. That was just this past Valentine's Day, which is so cool.
I had a lot of people mad at me that after that Valentine's, like, dude, you bought her a car? Like now my girlfriend's like, he got him a car. He got a car.
He did have so many people calling them. I'm like, this isn't like a normal, like every year I expect something as like lavish as a car, but it was definitely a good Valentine's Day.
It was a Range Rover, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Range Rover.
And I thought, I knew we went and looked for
Nick
cars.
was like, let's get you a new car. And I was like, oh my God, he's buying me a fucking car. And then he was like, yeah, and you're going to pay the car payment. And I was like, whoa.
Relax.
Like, I'm good with my car I got now. I don't need a new one if I'm paying the car payment.
I like to turn the key ignition on. Yeah. I don't need to push it.
I like that.
I like to carry some oil with me in the car to fill it up. I like that.
Before we go, how's your friend Matt James doing?
He's doing good.
Is he still in?
No, he's back
Kenya?
here.
Oh, where did he go?
I thought
he
he
went
was
to Kenya.
Kenya, yeah.
Okay. Is he doing okay?
One-way ticket.
Yeah, he's doing good.
He's never going to tell his side of the story.
I have no idea. I think that's.
I've tried to text him
for you
a
to
few
figure
times.
out.
He hasn't even responded.
I think for
him,
him, like the best thing to do is like let it die and be done with it. You know.
Yeah. I think he knows and probably regrets. Decisions were made.
I think he just, you know, we both saw like everyone saw the interviews and stuff, like they both need to be like broken
100%.
up, and they need to go their separate ways. They need to figure it out.
At the end of the day, what happened, maybe not in the way that it happened, but it was supposed to happen.
Yeah. Like I think the breakup post, he regrets it, you know, and it was weird and it transcended my beliefs and understandings, you know.
Otherworldly.
And like I love Matt. I still love Matt to this day. Like, you know what I mean? Like it just like, you know, once things like that blow up in your face, sometimes it's best to just kind of let it go past.
Yeah, but everyone wants to forgive someone. And also he didn't kill anyone. And it was like the way people reacted. I mean, I couldn't be more happy for Rachel and her finally like having her day, because like
she's a star. We love Rachel.
And like she also like
stunning.
We all know how terrible the beginning of their relationship was and the shit they had to deal with. But like, yeah, I mean, it was just a insensitive breakup. Like that certainly he can learn from and apologize from, but like he also didn't kill anyone. And people act like, holy shit, man. Like,
I just think nowadays everyone wants to just destroy everyone on the internet. You know, like there's no like middle ground.
Everyone wants to like build people up. They want to find new creators only to like dig down old tweets and find something to cancel them for.
For sure.
And so it just didn't go well. And they could have done it another way. I'm sure if he did it another way, it still would have got some sort of backlash. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think the post, it just didn't, it wasn't.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, there's definitely lots of ways that were not that way that could have.
For sure. But I think no matter what, there's always going to be a winner and a loser in it.
Yeah.
And that's how today is. Like,
everyone likes to pick a team.
There's nothing that's amicable anymore. Everything is like winner, loser dies.
Yeah.
You know?
No, for sure.
Like we are in the gladiator days where everyone just like.
Kind of, yeah.
You know?
It's so true.
It is wild.
Yeah.
Well, we love you guys. Thanks for
Love
doing
you
this.
guys.
Love you
Thank you.
guys.
Love
really,
ya.
Really
Love ya.
Really
Mean
happy
it.
for
love
you.
ya.
Love. Look at all the love in here.
No, but really, we're really happy for you guys. I'm happy for Tyler and as a friend to have such a great woman in his life, and wishing you guys nothing but the best. And let's go have some dinner.
Heck
Let's
yeah.
go eat.
All right.
Let's go meet River.
Yes.
Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.